subject of the shiur today that I wanted to speak about is the importance of Sfirat HaOmer. You know, I'm going to go through few stages. What are we going to speak? We're going to speak today, number one, in the shiur about explaining the word Omer. What does Omer mean? The word Omer. We try to get to that. Then we're going to see the merit of Sfirat HaOmer, what a person can benefit. I'm going to bring the midrashim. After that, I would like to go, why do we bring the Korban HaOmer? The reason that we bring Korban HaOmer. And please God, in the end, if we'll have a bit of time, we'll speak about why we don't say Shehiyanu when we're counting the Omer. Did you think about it? How come that we don't say Birkat Shehiyanu before we start counting the Omer? When there is other mitzvah, we say it. And if we'll have more time, that I hope that there's not so many people, I'm sure that they're going to come soon, we're going to speak, we'll see what's so special about Sfirat HaOmer, we'll see what we're getting from it, what people can merit from it. So let's start with the Midrash. The Midrash tells us in Vaikra Rabbah, there is a Midrash that's called Vaikra Rabbah, in chapter 28, verse 6, the Midrash tells us something very interesting. I'm going to read it in Hebrew, then I translate it to English. Le'olam, al tiyeh mitzvat Sfirat HaOmer kala be'enecha. That means forever. Le'olam, it's forever and ever. Al tiyeh mitzvat Sfirat HaOmer kala be'enecha. That means that the mitzvah of counting of the Omer must never be light in your eyes. That means that you mustn't look at the mitzvah of counting of the Omer like a light mitzvah, like it's not important mitzvah. We'll get to it. Remember that? We'll get to it. What does it mean Omer? The word Omer. Did you ever ask yourself what does it mean, the word Omer?
The body offering.
Huh? That's the Korban, yes. Yeah. That's what we spoke last week. We explained what it's Korban HaOmer. But the word Omer, what does it mean? I'm going to bring two sources. The one is from Sefer Shmot, and one, I'm going to bring it from the 39 work, the 39 melachot that was in a Mishkan that we're not allowed to do in Shabbat. And then we try to understand what it means Omer. So let's start with the Melachet Me'amer. One of the 39 Melachot, that means Lametet Melachot that was in a Mishkan, was Melechet Me'amer. What it means Me'amer? To get a thing, to pick up, to get a thing. So Hazal tell us that the word Omer, it's together, to put things together. Isuf. Why? What does it mean? Hazal tell us that one of the Lametet Melachot that was in a Mishkan that we're not allowed to do on Shabbat is to gather things together, to put them together in one place. That means on Shabbat, we're not allowed to erase things and to put it together in one place. So we see from here that one name of HaOmer is to gather things. That's why they pick up the Omer and they get it together before the sacrificing. Then they cut it, we explain, they roast it while it's green, okay, and then they ground it, and then they sieve it very well with 13, and then they lift it up 13 times. We explain why. But the Torah in Sefer Shmot, in chapter 16, verse 16, tell us something very interesting. Listen what the Torah tells us. The Torah there tells us, Ichlu Omer lagulgolet. Eat the Omer by each head. But it doesn't tell us how much, נכון? But if we jumped a bit forward to verse 30, there the Torah tells us, Ve'a'omer, now it's given the measurement, Ve'a'omer, Asirit ha'efahu, Asirit ha'efahi. Here the Torah tells us what's the measure of the Omer. 1 of the 10. 1 of 10. What is 1 of 10? I'm going to bring 3 opinions. I'm going to bring the Rambam. I'm going to bring the opinion of Rabbi Haim Na'eh and the Hazon Ish. There he explained what's the measurement of 1 of 10, asirit. Asirit is 1 of 10. The Rambam say 1 of 10, it's equivalent to 2 liter, 0.16 of liquid. Rabbi Haim Naeh say it's equivalent to 2 liter, 0.49. That means almost 2.5 liter. The Hazon Ish, he come and say, no, it's 4.3 liter. So from here we see, what do we learn? That's the measurement. But the word Omer, it's a measurement tool for us. That means that the word Omer is a measuring tool. So when we hear the Omer, we have to understand what does it mean. Number one, it's something that talking about gathering thing. Number two, it's a measuring vessel for us to understand. And how does it fit with us? Because we say that the Omer, when we sacrificing the Korban Omer, we have to cut the barley while it's still green. Then we have to roast it on a copper pan. You remember that we explained not last week, the week before, because last week was Erev Yom HaAtzmaut. We didn't have a shiur. And we explained there after we roast it, we sieve it, we grind it, then we sieve it, and then we're lifting it up 13 times. And then we're sacrificing it. Now that we explain what does it mean, the word Omer, we can move to the main part of the show. The merit of Mitzvat Omer. The Midrash and Vayikra Rabbah tell us something very interesting, and I'm going to connect it now to Purim. You remember when we learned Purim, I mentioned that we're going to connect Mitzvat Omer. Now I'm going to connect it. In Midrash Rabbah in chapter 23, verse 10, listen what the Midrash tells us. Something very interesting, and you better remember it. The Midrash says like this. That when Haman HaRasha, you remember, he wanted to destroy the Jewish people. That day that he came to the house of Ahashverosh, and Ahashverosh that night didn't sleep, you remember? And he read in a memory book, you remember that? And he approached Haman and he said to him, tell me, what should I do to a man that I like, that I feel very close to? I want to show my gratitude to him. What should I do? Haman was thinking that he's referring to him. So he said you should put him on a horse, on a king horse. You should dress him with the king clothes. And that man should march and lead the horse with that man on top of it. And he should scream, ככה יעשה לאיש אשר המלך חפץ ביקרו. Haman was happy, he was thinking that it's him. Ahashverosh told him, no. You're going to do that to who? To Mordechai Yehudi. Now, Mordechai, where he was in that time? At Bet HaMidrash. Midrash Rabbah tell us something very interesting. Remember, Rabotai, Mordechai was at Bet HaMidrash. Haman have to go and call him. Now, he have to take him up. He have to dress him up. Then you have to put him on a horse and to march and scream, ככה יעשה למלך אשר, ככה יעשה לאיש אשר המלך חפץ ביקרו. The man didn't have a choice. He gone to Bet HaMidrash. He saw the Talmidim busy studying. He couldn't believe. He asked them, tell me, what are you studying? He said, we got to the sugya of Mitzvat HaOmer. We're learning the mitzvah of the Omer. The Midrash tells us that Haman realized, and he said to the Talmidim, you know, your studying of Mitzvat HaOmer was more stronger than all the money and all the gold and all the silver that I promised Ahashverosh to kill all of you. And that moment, Haman realized that his power started to be shaken. That means that his decree not going to work. So from here we see the string of Mitzvat HaOmer. You remember how we start the show? Le'olam, forever. Al tihi mitzvat. Sfirat HaOmer kala ba'enecha. That means never look at counting, on the mitzvah of the counting of the Omer, like a light mitzvah. This is one idea. Let's move on. I don't know how many of you heard about the book Sefer HaAfla'ah. Sefer HaAfla'ah been written by Rabbi Pinchas Horovitz Halevi. He born in what we call today the Ukraine. He born 285 years ago. And in his book, he explained the importance of Sfirat HaOmer. And he said like this: when a person counting the Omer, Rabotai, listen carefully, and he bringing a list, what that can help a person. And he said like this: the counting of the Omer, the mitzvah of counting of the Omer, metzilah, that means saving a person from what it can save. Mi mahalot, from sickness. Mi kishufim, from witchcrafting. Ayin hara, the evil eye. Oivim, enemies. Umezikim. You know what is mezikim? Harmful spirit. He come to tell you, when you count the Omer, that mitzvah, how much can protect you?
Is that up to you or only the period that you're counting?
No, only when you count it. The mitzvah of Sfirat HaOmer, the mitzvah of counting of the Omer, protect you from all of that. Can we imagine what is mitzvah HaOmer? You know, many of us say, it's a mitzvah, so I forgot to count. Nish gafelach. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking now with the brocha. A person forget to say the brocha must continue to count the Omer. Because every day of the counting, it's a separate day. It's a day by himself. You remember we studied it, Liron. We don't understand the power of Sfirat HaOmer. The string of Sfirat HaOmer, how much it's protecting us. I would like now to move to the idea, why do we bring Korban HaOmer? Why is it so important to bring Korban HaOmer? Did you think about it? Why do we have to bring it? So I see explanation of the Rabbi Mordechai Alter. He born in Poland 150 years ago, and his book, Sfat Emet, he explained there about the Mitzvat HaOmer. And he said something there very interesting. He said, you know why we have to bring Korban HaOmer? Because the Korban HaOmer come to allow us to eat the Hita Hadasha, that means the new grain of the wheat. But we have to remember, what is Korban HaOmer made from? Barley. What's the connection? You say like this. Remember last week we brought one opinion. Now I'm going to bring a different opinion. Look how, by the way, Rabbi Mordechai Alter, Rabbi Avraham Mordechai Alter was the Hasid Migur, the Rebbe Migur. Remember? The Gur Rebbe. Sorry?
What? What's barley?
What's barley? You explain to him. Okay. So it's come to tell you that the mitzvah of Korban HaOmer come to allow us to eat the new grain of wheat. Nachon? But it's come to tell you, you know why. If you look which grain grow up first, the wheat or the barley always grow up before the wheat. So it's come to tell you, we take the barley, we bring it as a sacrifice, as a korban, to allow us to eat the new wheat. And when did they used to eat the wheat? We say in Shavuot, when they used to make the shtia lechem. You remember? That means that in Shavuot we used to bring korban shtia lechem. Not only that, by that we bring that new shtia lechem, we allowed to eat, you understand, the Hadash. Nachon? So now become a question. Why Dafka in Shavuot? Because we received the Torah. We say, what's the barley? Who eat barley usually? The animal. That until we received the Torah, we was like an animal. But now that we received the Torah from Shavuot, we become human being. Because we received the Torah. Now you can eat the wheat. Now you can eat back a bread. Any questions so far? No. Now I would like to move, just think about it. We don't say Shehiyanu when we're counting the Omer. When do we start counting the Omer? We start counting the Omer the first day of Hol HaMoed in a diaspora. Nachon? Erev Hol HaMoed. That means in the end of the first day of Pesach, in Eretz Israel they count the Omer. In a diaspora, we also started. Although for us it's still the eve, the second night that we do Leil HaSeder, we're still counting the Omer. Okay? It's a very special day. We wait for it, and then we're counting the Omer. Why do we don't say Shehiyanu? Anyone have any idea? Did you think about it? Why do we don't say about this mitzvah Shehiyanu? Now many of you are going to say, and I heard that before in previous shiurim, people said to me, you know why we don't say Shehiyanu? Because it's the period that the Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva. So I say, Nachon, that it's the period, but it's not the reason. You know why? Because when was the story of Rabbi Akiva's student died? Many years later. The Korban HaOmer, when is it started? It started on a day that they left. You remember Egypt? They start counting the 49. And when did they receive the Torah? On Shavuot, on the 50th days. So I see a few explanations that I would like to share with you. So number one, when do we count Korban HaOmer? When Beit HaMikdash was exist. Nachon? We bring in the Korban HaOmer. And today, unfortunately, that we don't have Korban HaOmer. We don't have the Korban. You know why we don't have a Korban? Because we don't have Beit HaMikdash. And because we don't have Beit HaMikdash, we can't say Shehiyanu. How can you say Shehiyanu v'kiyimanu v'gi'anu lazman hazeh if Beit HaMikdash is not exist? And not only that, I don't know how many of you, when we ending to count the Omer, what do we say right in the end? We say something very interesting. Harahaman yahzir avodat Beit HaMikdash bimera beyamenu. That the Almighty, Harahaman is the Almighty, He should return the work that was in Beit HaMikdash in the temple speedily in our days. Now you understand why we don't say Shehiyanu. Because we don't have Beit HaMikdash. And we're asking the Almighty, please build a Beit HaMikdash that we can bring Korban HaOmer. I saw another explanation that the Mefarshim bring. They say it's not just that. If you look at the mitzvah of Korban HaOmer, mitzvah mitmashechet, it's a long mitzvah. It's not a short mitzvah. So how can you say on a long mitzvah, Shehiyanu v'kiyimanu v'gi'anu lazman hazeh? It's not a mitzvah that you come and you sit and it's finished. It's a long mitzvah that getting longer, and therefore, because it's a long mitzvah, you can't say Shehiyanu. You follow? Any question about the Omer? Okay, let's continue. Now, I would like to share with you an idea that also I saw that it's mentioned in a Sefer Midrash Rabbah, Vayikra Rabbah again, and it says something very interesting. And it says like this: בזכות שספרו בני ישראל את ספירת העומר, זכו להיכנס לארץ ישראל ולרשתה. Listen what it says. In a merit that Bnei Israel count the Omer. What it means count the Omer? They count the 49 days from the day that they left Egypt to the day that they received the Torah. In that merit, the merit to enter Eretz Israel. But not only that, they merit to inherit the land of Eretz Israel. And Baruch Hashem, today we have Eretz Israel. But we don't have Bet HaMikdash. So, Be'ezrat Hashem, please God, in the merit of the Jewish people counting the Sfirat HaOmer, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send the Mashiach speedily in our day and build Bet HaMikdash. And then we have Tchiyat HaMetim, the resurrection of the day, and will be no more sadness, only happiness. Speedily in our day, Amen, Ken Yehi Ratzon.